Hi, everyone. Welcome to Real Life Tuesdays. So when I was looking to do today's video, I actually had a whole other stack of topics that have been downloading over the days on my walks and just throughout the day. I get these downloads and information that my higher self feels that it's really good to share. And then suddenly, I thought I was going to be doing a different topic, but they said, no, this is the topic right now. There's no more avoiding it. You need to talk about this one. And this one might make some people feel uncomfortable. So I'll just put that out right away in case this is something that makes you feel uncomfortable. This message is for those who I guess are ready to hear this and want to see how they can move through these thoughts. Okay, so the topic really is we're in a war. That's the question. Some people might have heard people talking about the fact that we are actually in a war right now. And I wanted to confirm my perspective of everything with you and add a few thoughts in there to how to get through this whole war that we're in. Because yes, we are in a war. It may not look like a typical war that we're used to seeing. You know, all the different wars in the past involved very much, soldiers going over to a country, battling each other with guns and, other warfare, etc. It doesn't look exactly like that. There is some violence going on out there, definitely. If you take a look at Australia, take a look at the states in the streets, and you can definitely look at some of the cities and towns and say this is a war going on. But beyond that, we're actually more so the real heart of this war and battle is a global psychological war. And which means, it's about the mind, it's about the propaganda and messages and beliefs that are being put out there. Some people are calling it misinformation, and it goes on all sides of that. There's a lot of different terms being used. You may notice that suddenly we've got a lot of new terminology that's being used that was not rampant before. It's only been in the past couple of years because these are part of the weapons they are using in this war. It's a war of words. It's a war of emotions. And more so, really what for me it is about, it is a spiritual war. And even more clear for me is it's an energetic war. It's a war of energy. So I'm not going to get too deep into that, but I do want to say that yes, we are in a war. And if you take a look around and see everything that's happening with this perspective, it gives you a better comprehension of why there's so many, very high emotions going on, why people are feeling so overwhelmed. The stakes are very high. There's people's lives are literally at stake, and there's a lot of death going on, and the death is not being caused primarily by this big V word or CV word, and it's not just about something that they're trying to get into your arms. It's a much bigger war than that. And so this is what gets me to the next point is when I talk to people about the war that's going on, different friends or acquaintances or, just passers-by sometimes, someone in a store and they're concerned about what's happening in the world. They know something's not quite right, but they haven't figured out that it is actually a war yet. But one of the key phrases that comes up a lot that I wanted to discuss was, they can't do that. I hear this a lot. and it's something that I really want to address, because not only can they do it, they are doing it, and they might do more. And what I mean is, when this phrase comes up, it's like, oh, well, they might do this next, for example. And I'm going to avoid certain words as best as I can, because part of the war is censorship. And so when you say certain words, you get censored. So you're in a war when you're not even allowed to talk freely. So, in a discussion, you say, oh, they might do this next, be prepared, etc., for the fact that this might happen. And the person's response back to me is, they can't do that because it's illegal, it's unlawful, it's not right, it's morally wrong. They have all the reasons why they, meaning for the most part, the government, can't do that. And that is a correct statement in normal times. Those things are all illegal. However, they have done a lot of illegal stuff, and they don't care. And it has to really come out now that you need to have this realization that they don't care that it's illegal. And the reason they don't care is because criminals and tyrants don't care about doing what's right or what's lawful. They create their own rules, and they act upon their agendas and goals that they have set out. So if somebody is giving you a heads up about the potential actions, and they're all just potential actions, no one knows, and I've said this before in posts that I've shared, and maybe in my videos, no one knows what's really going to be happening next. We don't. Anyone who says 100% they do is first of all, helping to create that reality, because again, we're talking an energetic war. So what you have to understand what energy is. And when you understand what energy is and how you can create the reality in front of you by the power of your words, your emotions, your thoughts, etc., the more energy you put into any one path, the more you're helping to create that path. So, but let's go back to, they can't do that. Yes, they can, they are, and they might do more. So please be aware of the fact that when you are in a war situation, the rules don't really exist anymore. So buckle up, brace yourself, stay strong. And this is what I share a lot on my posts. If you follow me personally, I do really want everyone to get their heads around that as much as possible, because it will allow you to prepare. And I will talk more about that in a second. So the third point I wanted to cover is the whole savior complex. Right now, there are a lot of people that are sitting back and waiting and watching, and they may know that something isn't quite right, but they aren't willing to do anything about the fact that it's not right, because they're waiting for someone else to save us. There's, I've heard people say, oh, someone in the government will step up and put a stop to this. There's going to be a good person within the government, or someone will be elected to put a stop to this. And so you're giving all your power away to someone else and making them your savior. And I really want to, again, readdress your own power. You are powerful. No one else is going to save you other than yourself. So the number one thing, if you are ready for things to end, as far as this war goes, then you need to stop complying. A lot of people are going along with the motions and saying it's okay because someone will put a stop to this. I will just be a good person and do what they're asking, therefore not drawing attention, not ruffling any feathers, and eventually someone else is going to come in and put a stop to all this stuff that I don't really want to do. Now, if you want to do all this stuff, then this obviously doesn't apply to you, and that's okay. You need to follow your heart and your path and see what resonates with you. However, if there are things happening right now that make you uncomfortable, that make you feel like this is not right, then you need to take actions. You need to stop complying, and that's the easiest action you can take. Especially if I find, and this is just a personal opinion about Canadians, that they are very complacent. I look around the world at other countries, and we do have a lot of Canadians who are standing up right now, so it doesn't apply obviously generally, but I know a lot of Canadians that are, it's that politeness that we have. And so when you look around the world and you see all these other countries who have been through this type of a war before, but it was a much more obvious war, yet they are noticing the same trends. They are standing up and they are saying no now, before it gets to the point of complete control. So again, we need to do our best to remove this savior complex. If you are waiting for someone else to save you, to help you in this situation, if these things are making you uncomfortable, you don't agree with them, then you need to be the one taking action, because it is when everyone gets together and rises up with that energy, that's when change occurs. Now, my fourth point is all of this information that I share, and I share a lot of my personal posts about this, it is not to put you in a place of fear or worry or anxiety. These may be very natural emotions that come up when you think about the fact that we're in a war, and that is completely natural and normal. However, we are here in this moment, which is, a lot of people are referring to it as a great awakening. And it is, because right now there is so much information being uncovered, showing the corruption and evil and just the negative low vibration energy that has been existing out there within these places of power, such as the government, such as the medical industry, such as the school system, all the different foundational systems and institutions that we have. They're built on a very, very corrupt foundation. So when all this is starting to be revealed, it can be very, very emotionally upsetting. And that is a natural part of the process. However, this information that I'm sharing with you, again, is about empowering you, because when you are aware of what's going on, you are then able to prepare. You are then able to find a solution. So if there's something that you're worried about that concerns you, I highly recommend that you sit down with it, feel it, think through it, and see on the other side of the equation, what can you actually do? What action can you take to be prepared? For example, there is talk of food shortages that are going to potentially occur due to the fact that they are holding all of the cargo ships out in the ocean. They're not allowing them to dock. They're saying it's for other reasons potentially, but there are potential food shortages coming up. Now, that isn't to cause fear or anything that I share that with you again. It is to sit there and say, well, what action steps can I do right now to be prepared and help myself and my family to not be in a negative situation if this does occur? Well, you can go out and get a few extra cans of soup or, whatever you feel would be staple and, can hold over for a longer period of time. So these are simple things. If your job, your career is right now under attack, then what can you do to start creating another flow of income? What are other passions that you have? What are the skills that you currently have in your job that you could still carry forward privately, perhaps? So there's different ways that you can switch this around. And it may be something bigger that, okay, I know that my career is on the line here. I might need to downsize and go into a smaller home that I don't have a big mortgage on. There's different things you can do. So the main message here is when they can't control your life, you have all the power. So be prepared, take action, and start, instead of worrying and having anxiety and thinking of the what ifs and not doing anything, actually taking action steps toward protecting yourself and your family. And the biggest message that my guides, my higher self, wanted to share with you today about this is a reminder from a soul perspective that you signed up for this. I highly recommend that you connect with your higher self, with your soul, with your guides, and allow them to be there to help you through all of this. This is your mission. This is your task at hand. This is why you came here. No matter what role you're playing right now, it's all good. You are in this because this is what you wanted to experience. And instead of saying, why is this happening to me? Think about, what can I learn from this? Because this is what we're here for. And again, it doesn't matter what the role is that you're playing, and this message can go to everyone who's listening, no matter what side you are on, as sides are being drawn all the time. It's all good. You have your role to play. Your soul has made these decisions ahead of time. And maybe part of the process is your soul waking up at a certain point later on down the road. Maybe this isn't the moment for you. No matter what your journey is, it's okay. However, once again, if you feel that something isn't right, maybe this is right now your wake-up call to start, doing some things differently, to start processing this whole thing differently. So I want you to sit with that, really research if you do feel inclined to do that, or just, observe with neutrality. Neutrality right now is such a powerful tool to be able to observe and see how things are playing out, and not contributing to the negative vibrations is a huge thing. If you can eventually start, contributing to the higher vibrations, that would be wonderful as well. So focusing on those high vibration emotions, joy, gratitude, compassion, through all of this for everyone, very, very powerful. And no matter what, all is good. Again, connect with your higher self to get that clear direction for you and your unique path in this whole process. Keep your vibe as high as possible and spread love, live in joy, and gratitude. So I hope this message reaches you with the intentions that I have for this, and that you're all going to, just flow through this process however it is intended for you. Have a wonderful day. And I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday, where I have a bunch of downloads to share with you over the coming weeks. Bye now.